Hey guys, I just got in this Everwin P650 23 gauge pin nailer. We're going to open it up, take a look inside, see how well it performs. So the case is plastic. It's a well-built case. It has two slidable locks on the side which open. You pull the sides, you lift it up, and that's what's in it. We have an instruction manual tucked up top, and then we have the pinner itself. So here's what the pinner looks like out of the box. Here's the underneath. This is a muffler for the sound. However, where the quick connect is going to be, it doesn't come with one, so you have to supply that yourself. It does have a hook to hook it on your pocket. The opening is pretty easy. You push it down and then you pull down. That's where you can put in your pins, push it up till it clicks. On the bottom, it comes with a Allen wrench that's stored in itself if you need to remove any of the screws that are in there. And it's not a fast disconnect like some of them you can just flick a switch and lift up. You actually have to remove the Allen heads if you have some sort of jam. The tip is replaceable. It has a extra tip down here below that comes off. This one says it's 110 psi, 7.6 bar max. The P65 shank diameter is 0.025, 23 gauge. The length can be a ½ inch to 2 inch length. Micro head and headless, takes both. So for my purposes, the most common is the IM style plug. So I went ahead and went to my local Ace and bought the quick connect to connect it to the gun itself. So if you've subscribed to my channel, you've seen that I just did a review on this Campbell Rossfield clothes reel. I'm using that to hook up to the Everwin gun. And there it is connected. It's ready to shoot. So I went ahead and bought these off Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. Grex Headless Pins, 23 gauge headless pins. They're 1 inch and they are pretty small. They come with an arrow pointing you where, because that's good because there's no head, so I don't know which way goes which. So to load it, you just pull this pin, pull it down, take your micro pins, slide it in, push it up, and it's loaded. I love this feature. You can see through and see how many you have left. So let's go ahead and shoot. So there is a trigger safety. Right now you can't shoot at anything. If you pull this down and pull the trigger, I'm just going to do it. I just shot one across the shop. So that's the safety. There is no movement with the head when you push it down. So there's no safety there. You have to pull this down and pull the trigger. Pull this down, shoot it. It's so smooth, it's unreal. I just found one of those shots from the pin nailer into my window blinds. So be careful. Here's an example of the brad stapler nailer I have. You can see the front presses down, and that's the safety on the gun. And it won't shoot unless this is pressed in. And the Everwin, there's nothing pushing up there. It's all in the trigger. Here's a size comparison to the pin nailer, my brad nailer, my stapler, and my finishing nailer. So you can see that it is smaller than my brad nailer. Not by much, but it's not so small that it feels uncomfortable in the hand. It actually is super comfortable. Compared to the finishing nailer, it's really small. Alright, so we're going to do a comparison between the brad nailer, the sound, the hole, the driving, and the pin nailer, and see what it sounds like. So here's the brad. It's pretty loud. It does have a directional exhaust. Now the pin nailer, which requires 2 fingers. It's odd, get used to. Very quiet. It's actually shooting the exhaust down here, and this muffles it. So I'm feeling it back here, not up here in my face, which is really nice. Hopefully the camera will capture the size, but this right here, that's the brad. All of these teeny tiny ones are the pin, and there are some where they are so small that I don't even know really if the pin shot through. It's really hard for my eye to tell. It's shot every single time. I have no jams at all. It is really smooth, but it's super small. It's great for projects when you really want to hide that nail. It says oil daily. I'm pretty much oil 1 drop every use. I'm using some Boss Stitch oil. So just do a drop in your connector, attach your hose, and when you shoot, it'll push oil throughout the whole thing. So we're going to do a speed test on how fast this can fire. So let's check it out. Now we're going to see if it can bump test. I'm just going to hold the trigger down and hit it, see what it does. Can't bump test with this because it doesn't have pressure on the head. You have to single fire every time. Here's another test, trying to see how well it drives. Right now I'm about 100 psi. The head is probably an 1/8 down, sunk into this 2x4 pine, so it's soft. And let's turn the pressure down. Now I'm at 80 psi. So right next to it, it's about the same. Between 80 and 100 psi, it's driven about the same depth. The rating is 70 to 110 psi on this gun. And now I'm on the lowest setting, 70 psi. It shoots it. It's not as down as far as the other, but it's still down. There still is an indentation. I can't see the top of the pin at all. I really love how Everwin includes in this case the model number, the shank diameter, the description, the pin length, the head type. That way it's easy to know what's in there and what you need to use it. Great part of this case is that when it sits in there, it is not going anywhere on one side, let alone when it's closed up and locked. It's not going to fall out. It doesn't bang around in the case. It stays really secure. Usually I just have my nailers hung because none of those came with a case. But this one comes in a case and I feel much better about it. So I wanted to give a practical application of me actually using this. This is a box I just made using my X-Carve, carving it out. I glued it up, but I want to get a little bit more security. A regular brad nail is just too big for this, so the pin nail is perfect in these tiny applications. So I think I'm going to shoot one in each corner here, hold that to the tabs. So it's got an alignment line. I shoot one, it's beautiful, perfect. It's absolutely spectacular in how it goes. I feel a lot better about that security. 4 shots, you can't even tell where I shot it, and I'm actually forgetting. Down on the bottom, super tiny, but absolutely perfect. Everwin, new to the market, but they have ties with, I believe, Bostitch. There's some engineers that came from Bostitch, started their own company, so they have years of experience, and it absolutely shows, at least with this model. It is super solid construction. It is not cheap plastic. It doesn't feel cheap plastic in your hands. It feels like a high-end gun in my hand. Compared to the other Bostitch tools that I have, it is at least that build quality and probably more. The Surebonder finished nailer, it blows that away. That's some Chinese garbage. These are made in Taiwan. It seems like the good tools, if they're not made in the US, Taiwan is the place that makes it. I also have the Porter Cable framing nailer, and this surpasses that build quality as well. Porter Cable, in my opinion, makes some garbage. That framing nailer has lasted years and is excellent. It's just luck of the draw, apparently. This is going to last much longer than that. I can tell by the feel. The only thing that I have a problem with, and it's not really a problem because I haven't had it happen, but it takes Allen wrenches to unjam this. And when I've had jams with the other Allen wrench tools, it just takes time and it sucks. It would be nice if it was a quick release. But hopefully we'll never have jam and never have to use that Allen wrench, and it will be perfect. And so far I haven't seen signs where it will jam. It's super easy to open and close. It's really nice where you can see the pins and how many they have left. The exhaust comes out the bottom. All those exhausted air tools seem to end up blowing me in the face even when I adjust it away. I love that it comes out of the bottom and it has a muffler, so I don't even realize it's shooting any air. I don't feel it. I definitely don't feel it in my face. I love that fact. This one comes with the belt attachment to hook in there. I love that it is plastic. It's the only plastic feeling part on this that would probably break first. Double trigger is a little bit of getting used to, having to pull that back and then pull the trigger. I'm used to the bump fire method or the tip moving in, and that's your safety. I like that it has that safety. It just takes an extra finger. So that is different. It's not bad, it's just different than normal. I know that they're aiming this at the higher end market that use all kinds of different connections, but I wish it included a connection. $2 is not a big deal, but it's just another trip I had to make to a hardware store. I'm really glad it included a case. I love the case. I love that it lists the model number and what pins you need to use it. The case is a little cheap, but if that's saving me money over a high-end gun, then I'm happy with it. I'm just glad it comes with one. Most of them come with bags, and bags just bang everything around. I love the feature of the proper Allen wrench that you need holding in its own tool. I love when any tool does that, so I don't have to find it, and I really love that it comes with it. It also comes with the extra tip. It's great to have. It doesn't stay on super snug, so it might end up falling off and falling on the floor, and I'm losing it, but if you're careful, that shouldn't be a problem. Or you can always store it in the case, either way. Label's clearly marked what gun it is, what operating procedures you need. I love that you can see it, know what it is. The only other plastic part on it is this guard that covers the gun trigger. That, if anything's going to break, it's either going to be this or that plastic guard. The bottom is also plastic, but I doubt that's going to break. This is all solid metal, and I believe this is some sort of cast iron. The grip is rubber, feels really nice in my hand. It really is a really comfortable gun. Who's going to use this? Fine woodworkers. Incredible. If you need to use nails and you don't want to see them, this is the way to go. Headless or micro head 23 gauge is super tiny. It's really nice. They also have a 21 gauge. Brad nails usually use about an 18 gauge. 21, 23 is the Everwin pin nailer. If you want to find out more about Everwin and their products, go ahead and check out their Instagram, Facebook account, and their website, and I'll link that all in the comments below. Okay, ready? You said 3, 2, 1, draw.
3, 2, 1, draw.
No, you gotta aim at me.
3, 2, 1, draw.
No, you gotta come all the way up like this and really shoot. Okay?
Okay, like for real shoot it?
Yeah, well, it's not gonna shoot anything, but pretend like you're for real shooting it.
Like right here?
Yeah, but try to shoot me here, yeah.
3, 2, 1, draw.